Alrighty, so a new code popped up. I got a P0170 saying that it's too lean, and a P1170, which is an error on some injectors or whatever. So what I'm reading online is that the injectors or ECU is maxing out on the fuel trim, so it's not getting, I guess, not getting the fuel that it wants. So what I'm gonna do right now is try and see if there's an exhaust leak, because I've already checked for a vacuum leak. Smoke tested too, tad bit, but nothing. Found nothing on that. So the next best thing is to probably see if there's an exhaust leak by the manifold. I so took off that aluminum pan and found that there's no leak under the exhaust. So came back into the engine bay, and what I was doing is I was checking for boost leaks in this line here. So I connected a line on this line here. I'll blow into it and actually took this off too and plugged it, because the air will just go here and out the intake. So I took that off, plugged it, blew into it, and I wasn't getting any leak. Now I tried the other hose right over there, blew into it, and I found out that this was leaking through there. So the reason for that is probably because I didn't have a clamp. I clamped it up right now, clamped all of them up to make sure that there's no more leak. And so far, car's idling nicely now. It's not giving me a lean condition anymore. So that tiny boost leak over there, or vacuum leak, can cause a lot of problems. So keep that in mind when you guys are diagnosing any car. Tiny, small speck boost leak will give you like a lean condition, misfires and whatnot. Alright, you guys, so might as well tell you guys about what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm on my way to DMV, as you guys can see. So, when I was talking to the officer, he mentioned, well, let me back up a little bit then. So, I was curious about how it works, because, like, again, to be able to smog the car, usually you would need to drive the car for a couple of miles to get everything ready, right? But in this case, since I don't have registration or plates, I asked him how am I going to be driving the car that way. So he did tell me that I can go and get it pre-registered in the DMV, and when I do that, they'll give me like a temporary plate. I'm thinking, or I'm hoping, where I can drive it for a day. So hopefully I can finish everything up and get it driven and have all the statuses ready for smog in one day, because I don't know how it works if you don't do it the same day. So that's what I'm hoping. Other than that, I'm going to ask to see if I can get a 30-day permit that I read online about. I'm not sure if that's true or not, so I'm going to go ahead and find out first handedly. Other than that, on the way to DMV, and I'll keep you guys updated on how this thing would work out, or what to do regarding this matter. Maybe help you guys out in the future if you're having the same problem or not. Alright, you guys, so here I am, DMV. Alright, so wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, you guys, so a little bit pissy today. So waited in DMV for 2 hours, and it's not their fault. It's actually probably mine, or I don't know. Or I guess the guy who fraudulently charged my card is at fault. So I came in. I was thinking of bringing cash. I had cash too at home, but the reason why I say a wasted time is because now I gotta go get cash and then wait another couple hours just to pay the fees that's due. So fortunately I had the credit card on me. I was thinking of using that, and I just read that DMVs don't take credit card, and my debit card, like I said, it was I ordered a new one because I got some fraudulent charge from McDonald's all the way like across the state that MD, I think Maryland. So I wasn't able to get those driving permit today, and I don't think I'm gonna come back and try to get another ticket, because it's gonna take another 2 hours, and when I could have just paid the whole thing and get done with 2, it's gonna take like 4 hours now, which sucks. But I also have Samsung Pay, right? Because I have like a what's it called? A freaking digital card. You know what? Maybe I could have used my digital card, because Bank of America gave me a digital card. I don't know. So had that, and guess whatever crap. So yeah, I need to get cash. See maybe if I can do that tomorrow, maybe today, but that sucks. So a couple things to keep in mind if you're going to DMV: have your debit card ready, bring cash just in case your debit card doesn't work. Credit cards don't work, Samsung Pay don't work, and don't waste time. Got the temporary permit here. Looks something like this. I don't want to show the whole thing because it has my information there, but this is actually good news, because the first lady I talked to, I asked her to explain to me, hey, how does that work? How can I get the car smog, or how can I drive it around places? And she and according to her, the first lady, or the first rep or clerk, I get like a 3-box system where I have to check 3 boxes whenever I'm going somewhere, and I have three, like, I guess 3, I can take the car 3 times. I don't know how exactly that works, but to me at that time it doesn't make sense. And I asked her, hey, how long do I have, like an expiration limit on that? And it's around, and she mentioned that it's around 60 days, which is, I don't know, it was just kind of weird. I wasn't familiar with that. And then so after that, that's when I found out that I can't pay with Samsung Pay, I can't pay with a credit card, and yada yada. So I went out to get some cash, came back, got queued up again. 2 hours later, here I am. I got the temporary permit plate thing. So I guess it's a good thing that I got another clerk, because I asked her again, hey, how does that work? How can I get the car smogged, or can I drive it around? And then she said, yeah, you get a 30-day permit. So I'm like, that's kind of different from what the first clerk told me. So, but anyway, I got the permit now. I guess that's good news. I got another person. So the first clerk did have a little bit of an attitude. I mean, I guess they worked there all day. I could understand where they're coming from. But I got that little vibe there after asking a couple of questions. So now that I got my permit, I'm going to go ahead and slap that in the back of the car. Hopefully I can do some data logging and drive the car now legally. So stay tuned. So I'm still chasing after a check engine light that's P0171, which just says that the system is too lean, and another one, I think it was P1170, which is like something to do with the injector. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that screenshot up on the screen. But what's going on is I've been testing this thing for leaks now, vacuum leaks at least, and I'm not finding any. Last time I checked the exhaust leak and didn't find anything either. And I actually took out the O2 sensor and retreaded it and tried to clean it, and nothing on there either. So as a final thing, I forgot to check this MAP sensor, because there was oil everywhere here. Because of that, oil in the MAP sensor probably isn't the best thing. So I took it off, and what I found, let me see. So again, the code of the system was being too lean, and what I found is, again, the system says it was being too lean, and this is the old MAP sensor, and there's some kind of damage on the O-ring on this MAP sensor, so I'm not sure if that's the problem. That's where I'm having my vacuum leak, or maybe by blowing into it, it's different from being sucked into, I guess, because this is getting sucked in rather than being blown out. So that, and there's also a little bit of oil residue all around here. So took a donor MAP sensor from the BRC to see if that was the problem, and so far it's looking promising, because my long-term fuel trim were maxing out on this one whenever I start the car for some reason. And then, well, that maxing out too. So I took out the battery and tried it again, and it did max out, but then it went down significant amounts. Instead of like 39.8 or 9, it came down to like 10, something like that. So I'm hoping that that's the culprit here, and I'm gonna go ahead and buy a MAF sensor cleaner to avoid buying another one of these and just replacing the O-ring, because that O-ring looks like it's really beat up. Took out the manifold again because I was having another high fuel trims, and my idle will crap again. It was around, I think, negative 8.5, so that wasn't bad. So I took this off. First thing I noticed is this thing slid off really easy. Just, I don't know, I guess I didn't tighten it. I don't know what happened there. And then another thing is, if you guys remember, my gasket here kind of got sucked in the engine and stuff. So there was a little piece that was in there, and it was making this kind of like bulge up. So I don't know, I guess in high vacuum, because blowing on the lines probably isn't enough to kind of blow into them, or maybe there is a leak that I'm not seeing, but hopefully that is what should be wrong with this car and get it running again. But man, it sucks having to take these off again and risk having this kitten eaten by engines one more time. So putting it back, I'm gonna be careful with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and try and put this line back on. So I just took off the whole line because it's probably easier that way than trying to navigate it there. But yeah, so put this back in, put everything back, and check one more time.